Welcome to Cyberstock, Episode 1, November 26. This is not financial advice, so please do your own research. The most important news of the day is about Tesla full self-driving in Europe, and specifically the Netherlands. As you all may know, the situation for Tesla in Europe has not been one of the best. In fact, Tesla full self-driving is still today not allowed by any country for customer use. In fact, only some Nordic countries have allowed Tesla full self-driving to be tested only by employees and few cars. The situation now, it seems to start to be changing. In fact, on November 22, the Tesla Europe X account has wrote a post, and in the post, Tesla specifically addressed the situation in the EU. In the post, Tesla says that if they were to follow the European requirements, full self-driving would become unsafe. So what we would do is that they will seek approval in the Netherlands, and then they will use specific law so that the legislation approved in the Netherlands could be copied and used by other European countries in Europe. Tesla also said that RDW, that is the authority for transportation in the Netherlands, has scheduled to approve full self-driving in February 2026. Here's the Tesla statement. Quote, Tesla has been working hard towards shipping full self-driving supervised in Europe for over 12 months now. We have given FSD demos to regulators of almost every EU country. We have requested early access, pilot release programs, or exemptions where possible. We have developed and shared detailed safety evidence for FSD, now public in our latest safety report. And we have driven over 1 million kilometers safely on EU roads across 17 different countries. Our main path to success is partnering with the Dutch Approval Authority, RDW, to gain exemption for the future. This involves proving compliance with existing regulations, plus filing an exemptions, EU Article 39, for yet-to-be-regulated behaviors like Level 2 systems, off-highway, system-initiated lane changes with hands off the wheel, etc. Some of these regulations are outdated and rules-based, which makes FSD illegal in its current form. Changing FSD to be compliant with these rules would make it unsafe and unusable in many cases. While we have changed FSD to be maximally compliant where it is logical and reasonable, we won't sacrifice the safety of a proven system or materially deteriorate customer usability. As a result, we are gathering evidence to get exemptions on specific rule-by-rule basis. Unfortunately, the real-world fleet-proven safety wins alone are considered insufficient. Currently, RDW has committed to granting Netherlands national approval in February 2026. End quote. So this was Tesla's statement, and attached to that statement on the next post, we have the Tesla FSD safety report. In the safety report, Tesla shows that has driven on FSD supervised 6.5 billion miles with a B. Of those, 2.3 billion miles are driven in the city. And those are excluded, those are robotaxi that would be unsupervised. So here we are only speaking about the full self-driving that private cars have and are driven by customers, not Tesla, robotaxi. In the report, Tesla says that FSD supervised keep you safer by 7 times on major collisions, that you have 7 times fewer minor collisions, and you have 5 times fewer off-highway collisions. Tesla specifically says that if you consider all roads and worldwide, the data shows that a Tesla with FSD supervised has a major collision after 5.1 million miles, while the US average is only 700,000. And if you compare the ratio of these two numbers, you will get the 7 times safer metric. Tesla also says that with FSD supervised, 32,000 lives could potentially be saved per year, and this is just in the United States, and 1,900,000 injuries could be potentially be avoided because of drunk driving, speeding, or distracted driving. And this is just on the US. If we consider the world, those numbers will go much higher. A great comment on Tesla post is from Shubham Bagade that says, quote, forcing FSD to be maximally compliant with outdated and rules-based regulations like UNR 171 is a disguised form of protectionism. It's a penalty on a disruptive non-European newcomer designed to give the continent's legacy automotive giants who are built on a slow component-by-component certification model more time to catch up. The EU is clinging to a system built on prescriptive, rule-based thinking. This is a legacy approach designed to manage systems that are inherently inferior to what Tesla is deploying. It forces AI systems to be intentionally dumber and less useful just to tick a regulatory box that was written years ago, prioritizing predictable, auditable compliance over everything else. FSD is a performance-based system. It operates on a massive neural network trained on millions of miles, which delivers a demonstrably superior safety record compared to human drivers. The ultimate regulatory metric should be, does the system demonstrably prevent more accidents than a human? Every day FSD is locked out of Europe, the continent continues to rack up preventable accidents and fatalities that the system fleet-proven data is already mitigating in other markets. End quote. And I think that was brilliantly said. So if you want to support Tesla, there is this petition going on change.org that I will leave the link in the description. The title is Release Tesla Full Self-Driving Supervised in Europe. The petition has already 14,000 verified signatures and is promoted by Jonas DM. But let's go back to our Tesla note, because the RDW, that is the transport authority in the Netherlands, has replied Tesla just after 2 days in the November 24th, basically yesterday. And basically they said something a little bit different from what Tesla said. I have here the page on their website that is translated in English, so I hope the translation is fair. And it says, quote, on November 22, 2025, Tesla posted a message on X about full self-driving supervised, mentioning the RDW. On pending applications from manufacturers, we do not share details because this is market and competition-sensitive information. However, we can mention that RDW has a drawn-up schedule with Tesla in which Tesla is expected to be able to demonstrate in February 2026 that FSD supervised meets the requirements. RDW and Tesla know what efforts need to be made to make a decision on this in February. Whether the planning will be achieved will become clear in the coming period. For the RDW, road safety is paramount. End quote. The RDW then goes on saying to please do not contact them, as Tesla suggested, because this will take unnecessary amounts of time on their customer service, and moreover, that this will not have any influence on whether or not the planning is achieved. And I think this is fair from the RDW. Also, as Tesla investor, we accept that only the data is what should have the ultimate decision, not how many people are promoting it. So given this information, we should remain cautious and wait for the RDW response in February 2026. I do not think that we should consider FSD supervised on the right path for approval yet, because the RDW can take whatever decision they think is safest for the Dutch transportation. And this is not just black and white, so to approve it or to not approve it. They could also decide to approve it, but with some limitations. And those limitations could be on the number of cars or something else that we don't know yet. So for this one, we should just have to wait some months and we will see. So let's go to another news. We have a new post of Elon Musk replying to a tweet of Sawyer Merritt. If you don't already follow him, please follow him, because Sawyer is the main source of information for Tesla on X. Sawyer wrote a post about an analyst saying that Tesla is on the path of having the biggest value shift in modern industrial history, to which a user noted that legacy auto had plenty of warning time. Elon replied to that tweet saying, quote, I've tried to warn them and even offered to license Tesla FSD, but they don't want it. Crazy. When Legacy Auto does occasionally reach out, they typically discuss implementing FSD for a tiny program in 5 years with unworkable requirements for Tesla. So pointless. Dinosaurs. Emojis. This is a very strange situation to me, because especially after what Tesla has achieved in the EV sector, Legacy Auto should know what Tesla capabilities are. So one reason, in my opinion, is that they cannot proceed is bureaucracy. I cannot think about anything else. In a related news, unironically, the official X account of the European Parliament has wrote a post on road deaths in the EU in 2024. And they write, quote, almost 20,000 people lost their lives on the EU roads in 2024. Parliament is taking action to tackle this issue. Learn more at, and they, end quote, and they put a link to their report. Now, if you go on their report, they put some infographics citing that they're pleased to announce that there has been a decrease of 2% of accidents compared to the previous year, and that there has been a decline in the last 10 years. They then show a map of all the different countries, citing for every country the number of deaths that there are per country for every million inhabitants. However, if we take these 20,000 deaths in Europe per year and we apply the improvements that Tesla FSD supervised can provide, that is of 7 times, we could decrease, theoretically, these 20,000 deaths to 7 times lower. That could be a number around 3,000 deaths. However, at the end of the report, there is no mention about Tesla full self-driving, and propose their methodologies to improve accidents. The first one is motor insurance rules better protecting road accident victims. If I understand correctly, this is not really about preventing accidents, but that if your insurance company goes bankrupt, you will be protected. The second approach is to include safe speed limits of 30 kilometers per hour in residential areas, zero tolerance for drunk driving, and more safety feature. It says also, quote, in April 2019, MMPs adopted rules to make 30 advanced safety features mandatory, such as intelligent speed assistance, driver distraction warning, and emergency braking system. Compulsory safety technologies could help save more than 25,000 lives and avoid at least 140,000 serious injuries by 2038, given that human error is involved in about 95% of all road traffic accidents. So we can see that the European Union goal and Tesla goal are completely aligned. They both want to save lives and they both want to avoid injuries. But for some reason, the European Union seems not to be aware about the potential of FSD technology that would not just help them achieve their goal, but even more than that. Speaking about safety, we have another news that was shared by the Tesla UK account. The post is about a couple that had an accident on their old Model Y, saying, quote, Mark was driving home at 50 miles per hour when a tree fell onto the roof of his Model 3. He suffered only a few cuts and bruises. As always, we know that Tesla cars are incredible, both in passive safety and active safety. It's one of the best cars in the world. And to finish, let's talk about the stock. So the Tesla stock has closed at $419, up 0.4%. That is very close to that 420 loved by the Tesla community. And for that, I leave you to the next episode. If you liked that episode and want me to continue, please like and subscribe. Bye.